Hey guys, it's Sean Zane, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 25 on the year. Yes, I had a goal was to do one a week. I was behind, so I'm making up for it. I'm way ahead of the game now. So again, reminder, this is all about providing value to you. I want to make sure you learn something, that you are, interacting with us. You are going to gain some value. We're not going to just BS for you for 20 minutes. And again, it's only 20 minutes. We're not gonna be on for an hour. It's definitely valuable content that you're gonna make sure that you will utilize. Don't just take and listen to us and not use what we're talking about. We would love for you to take away one, two, three things from us and actually implement into your practice. So I want to bring on Jeff Van Note. Let me just bring him up here. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Sean, thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking some time out of this craziness that's happening right now. And I know it's you know uncharted territories that we're in. But how is everything going for you and your family right now?
You know what I do? So I just like kind of lock myself in one room, and then when I want to change the scenery, I lock myself in the other room, and then I go into the bathroom, and then I go into the other back bedroom, and then I go on my back patio. So I change my scenery up every couple hours to make it feel like I'm in a different part, of the country.
I was out on my on our patio this yesterday. It was beautiful. I had a couple hours. We're out there for having some lunch and enjoying the sun. It was awesome. Like it was nice to experience, and because we haven't had that time, the family time, that this is
Sure,
actually bringing families together more. And if they actually
completely.
take the time and being open to it, because a lot of people are, oh, I can't stand this person or that person, but I totally enjoy it. And you have a little one, and I'm sure that's been a cool experience as well, right?
Oh, it's the best thing ever. I mean, like this is like the most amount of time we've ever consistently, really, really spent together, like 24/7, and even more so, like I know that's my best friend in the world. Like we're inseparable. We play, we laugh, we jump around, we dance. We just do what we got to do. And I think it's really, really a blessing in disguise. All this stuff that's going on. Obviously, there are some sad hardships that people are facing financially, mentally, physically, emotionally. Again, major financially and health wise. But you just gotta look for like the blessing in disguise and try and bring a positive out of this.
No, definitely. And Jeff, just before I let you go into a little, intro about who you are and about, what kind of business you're involved in. I know some people, if they can read, they can see that you're the mortgage quarterback. But I want to make sure those that are on hashtag live, if you're watching on the live, hashtag replay on the replay, we want you to engage. We want comments. We would love questions from you. And if you guys engage, it makes it all worthwhile as well because everyone's, interacting. But I would love for you to love this live. Make a couple comments here and there. Where are you watching this from? And also slam that share button. We need that share button so we can reach and have more of your friends that we're going to help with a variety of topics we're going to talk about tonight. So now, Jeff, who are you about? And again, how did you come up with the mortgage quarterback as well?
So I think you hit before we get into that. I think you hit on something important. I think the key is like share this so we can help people. Like 75% of what I do, pretty much have always done, has been pro bono, free work, free advice, everything. Right? Like we're not here to sell you anything. If we get business from you, where we earn from, great, awesome. But our first primary focus is to help people. Whether it's us giving our energy to them, inspiring them, motivating them, helping them through this tough time, changing their mentality, or simply just learning something. I think that that's the key. So if you like what you hear, if you know one of us or both of us, or don't know one of us, and you like something, share it because you never know who's going to see it and where that impact is going to obviously be down the line.
Hmm.
Um, so I played college football. I got cut for my team in 2007, 2008, and I fell into the residential mortgage business. And you know, I made not only did I make it, through 2008 and survive. I thrived in 2009, killed it in 2010, knocked the charts off in 2011, only at 23, 24 years old. So if I did that, everyone could get through this and see the light at the end of the tunnel on the other side, whether that's 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, or 2 years from now. What you do now will set the tone for what you do, for the next decade. Um, I always knew mortgages weren't for me long term. I always knew that the industry and the game was broken, And even at 20 years old, when I got in the business, I knew that my bigger purpose was to impact the business and help people. So, like, yeah, as much as football was my passion, my pride, everything that I was known for, my identity, um, the mortgage business and the people in the mortgage business needed me longer term than football was going to be in my life for to that playing level. Um, I disconnected from everybody for a very long time, and I took on a lot of pressure and stress. We opened up, 3 or 4 businesses in 2009, 2010, flipped a bunch of properties, did over 1,000 residential mortgage loans to people all before the age of 30. I never bought a lead in my life. Every single person I did a loan for, I've personally spoken to. 99% of them I've met in person. Probably 95% of them I actually physically attended their closing. Um, and probably 80% of them I still talk to on a quarterly basis today, just because that's how I built my business. I
Hmm.
never chased business. I always worked my ass off for it and let people know, like, if and when you need me, I'm available, my phone's on, and I'm going to get your deal closed. I'm not going to take your deal and not have it closed. And that was really valuable, way back in 08, 9, 10 when other banks weren't funding deals. What was really cool about that was, I built not only a reputation for myself, but I also self-educated, and I taught myself how to navigate those times. So as far as the mortgage quarterback goes, I launched that at the end of 2016 because the business industry shifted from we got to close deals to people need guidance, people need help. And I was able to luckily bring back my passion for football and sports. And I played quarterback early on in my career, back into my life. And that's where the mortgage quarterback stemmed from, where I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to quarterback you, your process, your transaction, and your future, because I've done it for myself and so many other people at an early stage in life that I can only become more valuable and knowledgeable to the rest of the community.
I mean, Jeff, you are unique. Being 21 years old and being able to have that kind of head on your shoulders is
Yeah.
phenomenal. And you being self-taught. But I believe, and I know this from all the ones that I've been involved with sports. Sports really instill the things that are helping you, me, be successful today because of what it instills in you. When you were playing football back then, what were some of the things that you learned that you kind of utilized to this day?
Well, so it's funny. I make this joke, like, playing Pop Warner, Pee Wee football. I was always the fat kid. Like, my nickname was like the Baron of Beef because I was bigger, but I wasn't necessarily fat, overweight, sloppy. I was just like a bigger kid, and I always pushed the weight limits. And I used to love cheesecake. So football camp started August 1st. You had to meet weigh-ins in order to play. And my coach would be like, "No cheesecake in July." You know what I mean? And I was the kid that had to wear garbage bags and run around the field, go to the sauna at an early age. I'm talking like 10, 11, 12 years old. And I wanted that. I was the kid running on the treadmill. I was the kid that was doing the extra wind sprints. And I did it for myself. I didn't do it for anybody else. I wanted to play, and
Yep.
I had to do what I had to do in order to be able to play, whatever it took. And I kind of took that same mentality of whatever it takes into everything I do. Like, I don't want to hear you can't do this. If it's been done before, if someone else did it, why the hell can I do it?
Right.
And I think really that comes down to like self belief. Where in sports, I've never doubted myself. You know, it was put up or shut up. And then as I evolved, quarterback to wide receiver, any quarterback that I've ever played with, including my quarterback that played in the NFL, you ask him, I would go to him and be like, "You throw that ball up in the air, there's a better chance than not that I'm going to catch it." And I just had that confidence because I was going to do anything possible to catch that ball. Even my safety that went to the NFL, I was catching balls over him. You know what I mean? So it comes down to self belief and really knowing that if you put the work in, you can, in most cases, control your own destiny. And I never looked at the mortgage business as work. Like, work to me is getting up at 5 a.m., running an hour winter conditioning, like on the track, sprinting 40, throwing up, and then going to get an hour lifting, right? Or in football in high school, we had 3 days. Like, that's work. That's grueling. Your mind's pushed to its max, your body's pushed to its max, you're thirsty, you're dehydrated, you're sore. So if you can get all through those days, showing up somewhere in a suit and tie, that's easy. Like, you're sitting in air conditioned 9 out of 10 times, unless it's July at a barbecue or July at an open house. You know what I mean? So I think you just got to put things really into perspective, you could ask anybody I've ever played sports with or done business with, and the word soft will never come out of their mouth. Because I'm the guy that, I don't care if I'm wearing a suit and tie or whatever. I roll up my sleeves and I get my hands dirty. And people might say a lot of things about me, but they'll all tell you that I work harder than anybody. And I'm probably as honest as they come. And those are two things that are, very valuable, especially in the space of dealing with people's livelihoods and finance and real estate.
Being honest is so key today. And I appreciate when we started talking about what we're going to talk about. And again, we don't script anything, guys. This is stuff that we just go off the cuff. But I loved it how you love to help other people. And that if a lot of people have started figuring that out and changing their mindset, they would understand if you help more people, business is going to come. And it's just a matter of having that mindset and going forward.
Yeah, a perfect example is like with this whole PPP stuff. Obviously, that's going on. Payroll, paycheck protection program.
Yeah.
Initially we were going to launch a paid platform like you pay us, and then as soon as I found out that banks are obligated if they have an authorized agent to pay them a share of their fee, I dropped all my fees to zero. I didn't collect a penny from anybody because I'm like, well, if the client doesn't have to pay me and I'm assisting them, let the banks pay me. I'm not going to charge a client. And then they came out that you couldn't anyway. So it's just, and look, at the end of the day, whether the bank pays me or not, quite frankly, I really don't care as long as the people got helped out. And I know karma will return that 10 times over. I've always in my entire life, and anybody I've ever dealt with can justify, verify this. I've never in my life have I put a dollar over a person. Like I'm people over profit. Day one, all day long, I'll walk away from deals if I don't like the deal or if I don't like the person,
Right.
And I think that, again, if more people operate from that standpoint and really bring values, morals, ethics, and respect and relationships in the business, better business gets done overall. And you don't have to keep hunting for new people because you already have your tribe that thinks similarly.
Exactly. You have that. They're already out there championing your cause, and they're going to be, if something pops up, if someone's talking about a mortgage, in your case, they're going to be thinking of you. If they are, discussing insurance, they're going to think about me. But it's just something that you are always putting others first, and that's huge. Now, you said earlier that you were self-educating. A lot of people today, they think they're getting older, they're grown, they don't have to you know, continue to work on themselves, personally develop themselves. What were some things that you were doing? Were you reading books? Were you going and listening to podcasts or YouTubes, etc.?
So this is kind of funny, but if you know anything about what happened in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012, mortgage guidelines were literally changing by the minute, changing by the hour. And we're kind of back to that right now in today's current marketplace. It's a little bit different. But I would take, hey, Chris Tarda, I would literally take a mortgage application at 9 a.m. And by 9:30, all the guidelines for that program would change. A credit score would be increased, a down payment would be increased, a reserve requirement, which is the amount of money you have in your bank post closing, obviously would change. So I would literally go home every night, study guidelines for 2 to 3 hours, study investor guidelines to see who implemented their own guidelines on top of the actual federal government's guidelines, right? And then when I took a loan, I already knew where I would lock that loan with to be able to sell it to get that loan closed, right, in the marketplace. So it was literally like a changing game and a changing playbook for the first 4.5 years of my career, from 08, 09, 10, 11, and mostly half of 12 when Dodd-Frank got implemented. And that was the only way to survive. So what did my competition do? They quit. They got out. They killed deals. So I probably made, I'm giving an example, if I had to guess, $200,000 a year just off of other banks and loan officers' fallout that they couldn't figure how to get closed. And in my second full year in the business, so to be clear, I kind of half started by accident in December 2007. I got cut from my football team in April 2008. I was still going to football practice, going to class, and trying to build a relationship with a real estate office in the Bronx, right? I didn't know anybody in the Bronx. All I knew was my teammates, obviously. And then I worked full-time from April 2008 through June 2009. I quit. I moved to Pennsylvania. I played Division III college football. I got hurt, tore my shoulder, moved home. I'm like, what am I going to do? right? So now I took off 6 months of 2009, the end of 2009, after I busted my ass literally for 12 to 15 months direct, right? In that first 6 months of 2009, I made $118,000 just in 6 months at age 23, at 22, okay? And then I quit. I'm like, I'm going to die. And then I moved back to the Bronx. I went back to the Bronx to save a deal for somebody and wound up moving back to the Bronx and getting involved. So my first full calendar year in the business, first full year was 2010. In my second year in 2011, I closed $31 million in purchase money mortgages in the Bronx, made $500,000 on a W-2 to myself, no referrals, no book of business, no prior anybody, just people that I would literally work my ass off for, attorneys, realtors, and that was all word of mouth, not one lead, you know? So if I did that then, right? No knowledge, young kid, 23 years old, knew nobody, knew nothing in an industry that's dominated by people that are 25 plus years older than me. I don't want to hear people's excuses on why they can't succeed today in 2020 with the fact that the internet and digital platforms are bigger, greater, and more influential than ever.
Now let's talk about back when you were getting into your business development stage and getting your referral partners and everything else. What were you saying to them? What were you doing to get in front of them? You weren't, I guess, using the social media at the time, but
There was no social media.
what were you doing? I mean, that's what some people have to
Literally
understand.
walking, literally grounding and pounding, walking in their office. So when I first started, you know, the only navigation system that existed were the portable Garmins. Remember, like the Garmins,
Yep.
like little things that you put on your dashboard. I would go on MapQuest. Remember MapQuest?
Yeah. All the
I would Google
words and
real estate
everything.
offices. I would MapQuest like where like the most efficient route would be, right? To like kind of like hit all offices. And I would literally type the address in the navigation, drive there, walk in, show up, say, "Hey, I do mortgages. You got any mortgages?" And people, because it was an unknown time, they're like, "Who are you?" First of all, again, there's a lot of obviously Italian and Irish people in the Bronx, but the majority of the Bronx isn't Italian and Irish anymore, you know? So they're like, "Who's this young white kid, right, wearing a suit and tie, coming into my office every day?" And I literally would form a route where I hit every single real estate office every single day of the week for the first 18 months of my career, didn't stop, kept going, nights, weekends, rain, shine, holidays, you name it, you know? And I literally ground and pounded until I taught them that A, I knew what I was speaking about. And then B, once I started closing deals other banks couldn't do, because deals were so scarce, realtors would give me the business and be like, "I need you to close this deal because I need to eat this month. I'm behind on my bills," you know? And a lot of people knock that and people tell me, "Oh, you do it the hard way." Well, I'm in the best position at anybody in the real estate financing space right now today because of the hard work that I put in 10, 11, 12, 13 years ago. I have a book of business. I closed over $500 million in loans and people still call me. So when things aren't good or you can't go out of your house, my phone's still ringing. Whether I make a post or not, I have my book of business for life, you know? So I'm a big believer, like what you do the first 1 to 4 years in your career could set the tone for an annuity for the rest of your life as long as you keep doing right by people.
100%. You did it right as far as one in the mortgage business doing purchases, right? That's where you set yourself up because refis coming, you have those waves, but purchases, everyone, maybe right now might be a little lull because of the virus, but that's where you are. That's the bread and butter. And then the refis down the road, you're already setting yourself up. You did business with them and you have that mindset. I'm not just doing one deal with you. I'm going to do multiple things and I want to be able to help as many people as possible. And that's a phenomenal outlook. And then now people with social media, how are you not getting market share? You know, if you're not using social media, you're not doing the ground and pound, like you can't do that right now. How are people doing it? And they have to be on social media. They have to be providing value though.
Yep.
You know, what are some value that you think that people should be hearing about in your opinion?
I mean, I think there's so much noise by so many pretenders, so many people that were made by the market, right? They got lucky and made more than they should have or didn't get hurt. They made something because of the market constantly going up, right? Everyone's an expert. Like if you bought Facebook at any point prior to 2017, right? Or like Apple or Amazon, like, yeah, they went up. But like now in this market, like what are you doing? Talk to me about what you're doing now in this market. I don't want to hear about what you did from 2012 to 2019. What are you doing today, right? Like how busy are you today? Is your phone ringing today? Like, I pay for nothing. I pay for no marketing. I pay for no leads. I post value. I share people's experiences and stories and conversations that I have so other people can see what's going on behind the scenes. I tell everybody everything. I tell people the truth, whether they like it or not. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist and I'm an optimist. And my main goal is to prevent people from getting hurt, right? So I don't really care about all these wannabes, that think they know everything, that never experienced the 2008, 2009, 2010, that are all telling me I'm wrong, and this and that. I'm like, okay, great. Well, you're going to probably need me one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to take this personal, right? But you're going to remember when I said to you X, Y, and Z, and look, it is what it is, but I blame the market for, allowing people to, do what they have to do and, get access to money they shouldn't have access to, and
Right.
tell people they have experience that they definitely don't have experience on. It's little things like that. Like I said, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but at the same time, if someone's ignorant and they don't want to listen, especially someone like myself, right? Like, I have no benefit or negative from telling somebody something, right? Like, I'm just telling you the truth. I don't charge you to tell you the truth. I don't charge you for my
Right.
posts, right? So if something applies to you, maybe you should listen, you know? I'm telling all these people, like, look, if you have lines of credits at all, max them out right now because banks are going to freeze them. And if you saw today, FHA, from what I saw, is some banks are starting the whole FHA lending. They're raising capital requirements. Wells Fargo's out of the big balance game. So everything I'm saying, I already lived through. I'm giving you a warning, and then there's people out there that are just like taking what I say and like still going about their business as if I didn't say it. So
Right.
if they get hurt, like, I don't want them to see them get hurt. But if you get hurt, when I've given you advice and you don't listen, I don't feel bad for you because you didn't
Right.
listen. You know what I mean? So just little things like that. Like, I just really want people to understand, like, I just want everyone to be safe. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to make money. And I want people to understand that business isn't supposed to be as easy as it was for the past 7 years.
Right. Oh, let's share some of. I mean, I like the value that Jeff is bringing here as far as he's got his podcast. And guys, you should check this out. I mean, what are you up to now? How many podcasts have you done?
Honestly, I lost count. I had to stop because my studio closed down in Manhattan because of all this crazy stuff. If it was up to me, I'd still be going in there recording once a week. But unfortunately, they put a kibosh on that. And I swore that as far as the integrity of the podcast goes, that every one of my interviews are done in person. That's just the integrity and brand that I will always maintain. First class. I need to feel your energy. And it's hard feeling people's energy through the screen. I want the full experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're up to, like, I don't know, 36, 37, 38, something like that. But I do really like the YouTube channel. And it's funny, I was telling a friend earlier, normally, like, views on the podcast versus views on the YouTube are like 20-1. Now that no one's commuting to work, it's reversed. Like, there's 20 YouTube downloads for every one audio download. And that goes to show you that the majority of people listening to podcasts are actually your 9-to-5 employee that are driving to work, listening to it in the car or on the train or walking or whatever they're doing to get to their job. And it's just a funny, like, statistic on how that actually is. So I'm very grateful that I was recommended to do the YouTube live as well. So then that way people have, a way to visualize who I am, who my guest is, and they can kind of like feel like they're a part of the room.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, that's value. You're giving real information. You're bringing people together. You're learning from one another. That's why I enjoy doing what I do on my lives, because it's important to provide that value. And having conversations, things come out, and people are. If you're not learning anything right now, please hashtag live if you're watching right now live. Hashtag replay on the replay. If you've not learned anything right now so far into this conversation, something's wrong. You have to hit the replay button and catch it on the replay, because there's so much value in here. And we talked about sports, we talked about business, helping others. You have to check out the Mortgage Quarterback's website. He's giving value constantly, and that's what everyone should be involved in. Don't just say, call me to get a mortgage, call me to help you sell a home. That's not how it works. You have to do things first, and you have to basically build your own brand. I mean, what's your opinion about, a lot of people think, oh, I work for XYZ company. Oh, I'm going to get all this business. I'm going to crush it. I don't really care who you work for. It's really you is what your people are going to be buying
Right. So
from.
like I don't deal with banks. I deal with bankers. I don't deal with mortgage companies. I deal with mortgage people. Right. Uh, from a personal level, I don't go to a car dealership. I go to my car salesman. You know what I mean? Um, it's little things like that. But I think it's also important to realize that, you know, I consider myself to be an expert in the mortgage business literally since I'm 22 years old. Right, that was 11 years ago. We're getting old now. I'm getting old. I don't know if you're getting old. I'm getting old.
Yep,
So
I'm
that was 11
43.
years.
Yep.
Right, that was 11 years ago. Right. Um, but I really can I curse on here? Or you no?
Oh,
All
I don't care, dude. This
right.
is real. We're just
So
being real.
so let me just like be fully real. Like I kept my mouth fucking shut until I'm talking about publicly on
Right.
social media until about March of 2017. Right? Partially because I was so busy originating loans, I didn't have time, to do what I had to do, right, and tell everybody everything. Um, but I didn't believe my voice was needed to be heard because I was still learning all of the nuances, right? So when people are in the business 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like your voice is valuable, your opinion is valuable, but do it for a decade, right? So you don't sound stupid.
Right.
So like I see all these people putting stuff out there, and I give them credit because they have the balls to put it out there. But a lot of this stuff is wrong, inaccurate, or ignorant. Like
Hmm.
me personally, I waited 8 years, right, after doing the business for 3 years to actually come and actually have a voice for my profession and a voice for real estate and a voice for mortgages, right? Um, because I wanted to make sure I had all my bases covered and I
Right.
never wanted to sound stupid. Unfortunately, in today's world, everyone thinks they have an opinion and a voice that needs to be heard and needs to be implemented. And that's not the case. You know, like if you sold one house in your entire career, shut up. You
Hmm.
know, if you're selling 10 houses a year and you've done it every year consistently, okay, then, you got a leg to stand on. But if you're brand new and you have beginner's luck, like we all had at some point in something in our lives, just stay quiet. A lot of people sound like fools.
Right. No, 100%. I mean, it's just something that, you gotta, I like what you said. You worked first. You built your knowledge. You
I
are,
did it. I did it. I
yeah,
lived it.
you had to. And that's what is the difference. People get into businesses and they think, oh, it's quick money sometimes. Oh, you get into the certain, it's anyone can do it. It's not all about the money. It's all about providing a service and doing good, no matter what you do. I don't care what, if you do insurance, real estate, mortgages, you have to be for the person. It's not for the commission check. It's not for the money. It's helping others first. The more people you can help, it comes back in droves. If people start waking up and understanding that, it comes back because that's how it works.
It's how it has to work. And like times like this, people I believe that do the right thing are always going to be blessed, always, regardless. Like you might run into tough times, but it's usually trying. I believe tough times make you think outside the box.
Hmm.
They change the direction and course and path of your life that you're on. And you might have that thought or creative instinct or new business idea or something that's going to help take you personally to the next level. And sometimes it's the humbling experience too, where like you're like, "Fuck, I'm not as good as I thought I was," or
Yep.
"Fuck, I shouldn't have done that," or whatever the case might be. The key is like really, truly being humbled. Times like these obviously humble everybody because there's a lot of unknown out there. Like I live for times like these because I like I'm comfortable in chaos. The game's on the
Yep.
line, fourth and goal, like score or lose. I've been in these positions before, and I already lived like a lot of these scenarios. And again, I think it's just most important to realize that people that need the advice and help are going to get that always from me. They're always going to get it for free, but they really have to understand that. Like, take this as a blessing in disguise.
Now, I want to end on some final thoughts that you might have to share with our community. And again, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to share a lot of golden nuggets for those that are watching. What would you love, like to say to them that are those that are watching on the replay, on the live right now?
There's no get rich quick scheme that exists. Um, if someone's asking you for money to borrow personally or in business, make sure you confirm their repayment ability. How are you going to repay me? When are you going to repay me? Get everything in writing. I don't care if it's your mother, uncle, brother, sister, cousin. Get it in writing, get it notarized. If you can file a lien and you lend somebody money, file 10 liens somehow. Trust but verify. I'm big on verifying. I think someone can say whatever they want, but back it up. If someone says they have $1 million in the bank and they're talking about $1 million, tell them to send you a bank statement, for example. Don't believe all the hype. Don't believe all the noise. And you know what? Nothing that was ever built that was great was easy, right? So, you know what? I might be told I'm doing things the hard way, but like I said earlier, I'm doing it the right way. So what you may consider hard, I consider right. If it was easy, everyone would do it, and everyone's doing it. Like the whole lead-based models, it's easy because everyone's doing it, right? That ain't gonna work when you don't know what you're doing behind the scenes. So, like, get back to the basics, get back to hunting, get back to killing, get back to ground and pound, and really, really focus on developing yourself. Your personal development will be the best investment you ever make. Meditate, work out, eat healthy, surround yourself with great people, cut the snakes out, cut the rats out of your career, your circle, everybody, and I think this is an opportunity for people to take a leap of faith in themselves. And if you believe in yourself, now's the best time to take advantage of that.
No, it's 100%. I'm glad that you were able to take some time out today. I want to share with you one thing before we leave. I have with my friend Christian Loran, we have everyone goes to networking functions and nobody's going to them right now, but there's some virtual ones. This is a virtual business card. Basically, it's a mini website on steroids that you basically can give out. I have all the contact information if you need quote forms, etc. I have a video introduction, everything that you need instead of just giving a flimsy business card to somebody when you are out and about. It's something that goes right to someone's phone when you're out. It's one of the better things I've seen. And another unique thing with these web cards is you can have it, you can track where people are opening it from. Are you, dropping in social media? Are you in Instagram? Are you in LinkedIn, Facebook? Are you sending emails out? And it has all the data for you to check, and you can see what's working, what's not working. And also, it can be linked to your CRM, so you don't have to type anything in. It's a beautiful thing to do. It's something that we've been just rolling out. If you want to take a look at it, give me your opinions about it. And if anyone's interested, check out webcards.biz. It's in the window right here in our live. But I'm all about, again, helping as many people as possible. If anyone needs insurance, check out connectionmachine.biz for any resources there. If you haven't seen that yet, I have all my videos there as well. And I'm always looking to, other collaborations, other attorneys, other professionals that are looking to grow their business and use video. I'm looking for new students for my mentoring program. So if anyone out there is afraid to get in front of the camera, let me know. I would love to help you get off that, the fear and make it happen for the future, for sure.
Well, Sean, I really appreciate you having me on. I hope they learned, the people that watch this learn something. We would appreciate it, again, if they share, obviously, the video. And before we get off, if anybody wants to check out my book, I did write a book called The Mortgage Playbook for Millennials. It's available on Amazon. It's $9.99. If you buy it, I'll meet you anytime in person. When this whole thing breaks, I'll sign it for you. And if you have any questions, message me. I'll give you my cell phone number, email me, follow me on Instagram, and I'm very responsive. So if I can help everybody out in this time, there's a lot of unknown, especially in the mortgage space, please reach out and use me as a resource.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate you. Have yourself an awesome night, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Sean. You too.
All right, Jeff. Take care, brother.
Bye.
Bye-bye.